What up, though? It's your boy Big Snoop DL Double J. Oh my God. Gotta give a shout out to
DJ
Magic's. You can hit him up at his Instagram. It's Magic's the Man at MAGIXTHEMAN.
What is up, my outside the box people? It's your girl Ari, aka Ari Love, aka your foodie bae Ari. And today is a really special episode because, again, one of my favorite topics, we are talking business. And today I have with me the beautiful Miss Alandria Lloyd, aka the Entrepreneur's Advocate. So before we hop into things, Miss Alandria, please let everybody know where you're from and what kind of inspired you to create something called InspireU Network.
Yes, hello Ari. Thanks so much for the opportunity to share. So again, my name is Alandria. I am from Louisiana. However, I currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia. And what inspired me to create the network was because I'm an inspirational writer. So before television or anything like that, I've always been a writer. I went on to publish several books, became an award-winning author, an award-winning book coach, and I also had a publishing company for many years. And so all of the stories that I cared to help others publish was all about motivation, inspiration, empowerment, some form of education. So those are the only clients that I worked with when I was in the publishing field. And after publishing so many books and just hearing so many different stories, I realized, hey, like we need to actually, of course it's great for it to be in a book, but we should also go ahead and take this storytelling to the next level. And let's get some audio, and visuals along with the book portion. And I also noticed that a lot of my clients would publish their books and they would only promote them on social media. They would not try any other mediums, whether it was a lack of know-how or just fear, and so I wanted to create a space for these storytellers to not only share them in books, but also share them on a global media platform so that not only their readers can hear it, but also open themselves up to a global audience. And so that is what encouraged me to create the network.
Nice. That's awesome. And once again, congratulations, on
Thank
the
you.
Tremendous success of InspireU Network. I just think it's incredible, very motivational, especially nowadays. There can be a lot of negativity around, and it's just really refreshing to know that we can visually, watch inspirational type, content. Yeah, and I just want to, just on that note, just ask you, what do you think sets InspireU apart from other lifestyle TV networks? How do you ensure that your content not only entertains, but just keeps empowering your viewers?
So we have, all of the content creators, when they're onboarded, one thing that we talk about during the orientation is to make sure that all of the content that they put out is empowering and educational. It can be entertaining as well, but it definitely has to be something that people can walk away from feeling like, I actually gained something from this. You know what I mean? Sometimes you'll read or watch something and you're like, I wish I could get the past 30 minutes back of my life
Right.
Because I've wasted my time on this. I wanted a platform where people wouldn't be able to say that literally every channel, every show, they would be able to be inspired in some type of way. Maybe their mindset has shifted in another way, or, they actually walked away with some resources that they could apply to their lives. So that was something that was really important to me.
Oh, awesome. And then can you just kind of walk us through the process of someone who would want to distribute through InspireU Network? Do you do a little, social media stalking to see if this person is who they say they are? Are they
Absolutely.
really posting, inspirational content? We didn't see them at the strip club last night or anything like that. How do you go about, just vetting people?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's an intake form that we have when anyone calls to set up a clarity call with us. And before we even accept the call with them, we go through their socials, we go through their website if they have one, checking out any reviews, just checking out the type of stuff that they post from day to day. That's why I always tell people, pay attention, be mindful of what you're posting, because someone's always watching, and that may lead you to lead you to other opportunities, or it may close the door to some opportunities as well, just depending on the type of things that you're putting out there. So I always, tell people to be mindful of that anyway. But yeah, so as soon as someone completes the form, I have a whole team that just kind of goes and checks out their things and see, the mindset, because that's really what it's about.
Yeah, absolutely. And can you tell us maybe about some of the most memorable success stories from your viewers who have been like positively influenced by the educational and inspirational content aired on InspireU? Like, has someone, DM'd you just saying like, thank you so much for InspireU Network?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, we get emails often. People will go on our websites, or after they watch one of the shows, they'll send an email, saying, I'm so happy that I came across this, because we're also on podcasts as well. Mm-hmm. So, we get emails from people who have listened to some episodes, and just we're really thankful that, we are putting this type of content out because it's so needed. And so those reviews are really encouraging, to continue to push even throughout the frustration and all the things that can come along with, just the process, but just receiving those emails to know that what we're doing really is making impact. That just lets me know that we're still in line with the mission and the vision overall.
Yeah, for sure. And, as the owner, of a lifestyle TV network, how do you collaborate with, the content creators and influencers and experts just to curate content that aligns with the network's vision? Like, I guess what I'm asking is, when it comes to maybe, because right now you're getting more so of the independent entrepreneurs, right? But how does the process go for like maybe collaborating with creators who maybe already have like a bigger following and things like that?
So what happened? So one thing that we do, because we have a lot of perks that come along with it, everyone who has a show on our network retains the rights to their shows. And so that's something that's not really, once you put your stuff out there on social media or YouTube, they're able to do whatever it is that they want with it. But the people on our network, they retain their rights. And we also give them several opportunities to be able to monetize, as well as create other opportunities for creatives to be heard. And so that's one thing that that's one way, that we collaborate with others. A lot of people who have shows on our network were YouTubers or podcasters, and who wanted to turn their content into an actual television show for a broader reach. Because although, social media is great, it's only going to reach a certain amount of people. You know what I mean? The only time you may reach massive an audience is if it happens to go viral. And that's not often for 90% of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if you're only dependent on social media, you're literally just posting to the same people every single day, as opposed to when you are on television and when you may have a show that airs in over 200 million homes. You never know who's watching and who can connect with you on social media from seeing you on television. And it just it's almost kind of like a domino effect that happens once they see you on TV. Now they want to search you out in all these different mediums to see how they can connect with you and possibly even work with you. And so that those are just a couple of things that we do as it relates to collaborating with people who have their own platforms, because really everyone who has a show, it's just our network, but it's still their platform to build off of, if that makes sense.
Okay. And what inspired you to name your network InspireU?
Because I really wanted people, again, not only watching the content, but even seeing the work that we do, because we do work in the community. Outside of that, I'm an award-winning philanthropist as well. So I'm really big on outreach. I'm giving back to teen moms, single moms, grieving moms. That's my community, because I'm very familiar with all three sectors. And so, giving back. And I want the work that people that see us do this work to be inspired to go out there and do the same. You know what I mean? And so that's really what InspireU is about. Like, watch this, hear this, see what's going on over here, and let it inspire you to go out and be a change in your neighborhood or in your area, in the lives of other people, because that's really what it's about, just touching lives one by one.
Oh, absolutely. And you're known as the entrepreneur's advocate. So how did you get that name?
So just based off of even some reviews I've had and just what I stand for, that I came up with that tagline myself, just to kind of like sum it up, because I'm really big on advocating for entrepreneurs, and really, especially solopreneurs, because there's so many solopreneurs who are experiencing burnout after a while because they're wearing all the hats in their business and they don't know any other way, or they don't know how to, step out of being tech support, customer service, HR, the creative, social media manager, you know what I mean?
Right.
So many people do that for so long, and they feel like, well, yeah, these are all the things that I have to do to keep my business going. But they don't realize that all of those things really is tearing them down. And so I advocate for self-care. I advocate for delegation and automation. I advocate for, putting yourself in position so that you can really expand in a healthy way without wearing yourself out. So that's one way that I advocate for entrepreneurs. And so that's why I call myself that.
Oh, that's awesome. And then as far as the content goes on InspireU Network, as far as production and everything, do content creators have to come to you with the content basically already being pre-made, or do you have a studio? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so we have content creators even as far as South Africa.
Wow.
And so everyone in their own area has their own team together, whether it's through an online platform like Riverside or something like that, or they have their own videographers, or they have their own setup basically.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what it is. We will have an actual studio that we use. We have a studio here in Atlanta that I use, but the goal is to have our own, where content creators will be able to fly in if that's something that they want to do. But I do like the flexibility that allows them to create in their own homes as well. You know what I mean? So they don't feel like they have to come into my area in order to be able to get their work done.
Oh, absolutely. And then, I love what you're doing. I feel like you definitely are the entrepreneur's advocate. You're very supportive. Now you have some sort of club going on where, I guess like a support club for entrepreneurs. Can you touch a little more on that? Like how people can kind of just like contact you for that and what that is?
Yeah, so I'm working on the goal is to launch at the top of next year for the actual community. But right now, they just come to me for consultations and coaching sessions and things like that. And so that's one way that I do help solopreneurs, with giving them the tools and the resources, as well as the people that they need to be able to expand their teams without wearing themselves out. So the community is coming, but it right now we're just doing the consultations.
Okay. And then, just personally, because as a solo entrepreneur, like I know it can definitely sometimes it can be discouraging knowing that you don't have a whole team to do like every single little function. So like, how long did it take you to, I guess, find your tribe, find people who believed in what you're doing to help you out?
Well, really, it just came from, I discovered this from actually burning out. I've experienced burnout 3 times, and as it relates to business over the years. And I realized that if I didn't do something immediately, that this is what was going to continue to happen. And so it's really just surrounding myself with people who knew more than me, and people who were where I wanted to be. and really just gleaning from them and learning, different ways to get a team, different systems and tools so that I can have some automation going on, so I'm not literally booking the calls and physically sending out the Zoom links, stuff as simple as that. And even though it's really simple, you'll be surprised the number of people who don't have that, you still have to inbox them and they have to physically go to Zoom and physically, send you the Zoom link and all of these different things. And so after years of doing it the hard way and then burning out but then surrounding myself with people who could actually teach me how to, get these systems together, how to build these teams, that was the game changer for me in my business. And so because I learned that, I'm trying to, educate those who are not familiar with that process yet to prevent them from experiencing the burnout and health issues that I had from doing it all in my business. Because, eventually you're going to run out, you're going to. I don't care how long, it took me about 2 years of burning out. I spoke with someone else the other day, and she said it took her 4 years to burn out from working every single day. But those burnout situations are no joke. And what happens is, the thing about it is, you never know how it's going to affect you. Like, it physically affected my health, where I ended up having to be on medication because of it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just, that's a huge wake-up call to say, you know what, nothing. I didn't even let those people job kill me when I was in corporate. I'm not about to let the business that I built, that I say I love so much, take me out of here too. So it definitely forces you to reprioritize and just really look at things from a different perspective for your own personal well-being.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then for those who are listening who might be burning out and don't even realize it, what are the signs of burnout do you think you could just kind of give the audience just so they know?
Yeah, absolutely. A lack of energy for what you love to do. Because when I was really in my zone, my work gave me energy. You know what I mean? I love talking to this is when I was in the publishing space. I love talking to the authors. I loved hearing their stories. I loved coaching them, right? But then after a while, it's I don't even want to get on a clarity call. I'm hoping they don't show up, so I won't have to talk. You know what I mean? Those were some of the initial signs. And then just not feeling fulfilled or just energized by it anymore, just feeling like it really drained me. I remember one day the thought of responding to an email literally gave me a headache.
Wow.
And I'm okay, something is going on here, you know what I mean? So those were the signs, even waking up in the morning. And you remember when you worked on a job that you absolutely hated, you know what I mean? And just feeling I hate to get up, and even I'm dreading going in.
Oh, man.
When it starts feeling like that in business, that's a clear sign that you are, especially if that particular thing used to excite you. If it's now draining you, that is a sign that you are experiencing burnout.
Wow. Okay. That's good to know. And then, lastly, okay, so what can we do to kind of just reset ourselves?
I think that may look different for everybody, but just some kind of basic things for me that helped. I had to stop everything, for about a week. I was I just have to stop, because if I keep going, I may not be here. You know what I mean? Because my blood pressure was really high and it was staying high.
Oh, wow.
3 numbers at the top, 3 at the bottom. So it was that bad for me at that time. So I just had to stop everything and just really reassess. You know what I mean? Really revisit my why. Why am I doing this? You know what I mean? Who do I really want to serve? Because I also think that sometimes in business, kind of depends on how you set up. Sometimes you'll end up serving clients that you really don't care to serve, but maybe because they had the money to pay you at that time and you needed it, you kind of took it on. Right. But really, this isn't the person that you even want to work with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes people can kind of find themselves in that trap where it's I'm not even working with the type of people I want to work with. You know?
Yeah.
And so, revisiting that why and revisiting even the caliber of clients you want to work with is key. Because if you don't have a certain group that you want to work with, you will be scattered in all of these different directions and working with people who you probably shouldn't even be connecting with in the first place, let alone coaching them on a, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
a frequent basis. So for me, it was reassessing all of those things and really thinking about where I wanted to be in the future. Because I think that sometimes and it depends on your past and your background, sometimes we work out of where we come from instead of where we want to go. And what I mean by that is just a quick story. Like, I was a teen mom. I was a 3-time teen mom. Actually, by the time I was 18, I had 3 children, but I lost 2 of those children. One was to preterm labor and the other one was stillborn. So not only was I 18 with a child, I'm dealing with depression, suicidal thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a very dark, heavy, you know what I'm saying, spirited person because of everything that I've gone through. So fast forward, once I, became entrepreneur and stuff like that, my whole goal was to never go back to the place where I came from. So I was working out of just trying to outdo being on Section 8, being on welfare, you know what I'm saying, being on food stamps and every other government assistance program that they had. I was just hustling to never go back to that place. I wasn't looking towards the future of where I wanted to go and the type of life I actually wanted to build, and even the type of businesses that I wanted to build. So for me, burnout really helped me to reassess all of that and realize how I had still been in survival mode and not even putting myself in a position to thrive long term for the future because I was stuck working out of the past, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And I'm loving this conversation, and I was going to wrap it up, but I do want to ask you 2 more questions because I feel like the listeners could really get a gem out of this. So as far as surrounding yourself around, people who basically like you aspire to become, like, how do you get in those rooms? Like, what's your favorite type of networking tactic? And if you want to just share with people on how to do that.
Yeah, for sure. So I would actually go to some conferences of coaches that I admired that were hosting different things. So there's one, his name is Derek Harper. Absolutely love him. And he had a conference here in Atlanta last year that literally changed my mindset and everything concerning business, and just all of the people that he had speaking on really delegating, automating, building the team, how you can build a team, for, not expending a lot of money and all of these different things, right? So it's really the people that you may follow on Instagram who are really legit, let's say that first, who you have vetted and seen that they are really actually legit when they host certain things. Go get in those rooms. Okay. So that was one thing that I did. And also, I go to networking events at least 3 times a week.
Oh, okay.
I go on Eventbrite. I go on meetup.com and just type in business networking or just networking events, and I literally go 3 times a week. And so it's really been those connections that I've made from even small networking events that have done wonders for my business. Like, I've actually met my attorney at a networking event.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like, one of my business partners who is really close and who really mentors me, I met them at a networking event. Some of my sponsors that I've gotten for different programs and events that I'm hosting, just like my award ceremony that I'm hosting in October. Because we are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the InspireU Network, and we are celebrating that with an award ceremony and a fundraising gala. And the fundraising portion is going to assist teen moms transition from high school to college with financial assistance and childcare assistance. So a lot of the people that I've met, even as sponsors or even people who have bought tickets to come to the event, I met them in these smaller networking events. So it's really just about getting out there, putting yourself out there and not being afraid to show up and open your mouth when you get in the room. And so those are things that have really helped me.
Okay, yeah, and that makes sense. So, you guys, closed mouths don't get fed, okay? Just remember that. And that's awesome. And then I do want to touch on the award ceremony, but before I do that, I do want to know, can you give the listeners some recommendations as far as like your favorite automating tools if you're a solo entrepreneur? That's if you can give away your secrets.
Yeah. So I love Dubsado is really good. There's another one. It's called Vanza. It's actually Black owned. And it's actually kind of like a teachable, but it's more features together all in one, and it's also less expensive than that. And so that's Vonza. And so that's one that I recommend people using for their, systems, email automations, segmented, and tag emails and things like that. So that is good. Another that I use is, I use Dubsado as well for like my calls, and you can also send contracts automatically. You can set up workflows there. So those are the two that I'd recommend that are really helpful.
That's awesome.
But the most helpful is really time management. And that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs have not got down. But that time management tool that we all could personally work on can definitely do wonders.
Oh man, no, I definitely feel you on that one. And so you talked about, your award ceremony coming up in October. So I guess my last question is that, as a leader in the media industry, what are, again, your future plans for InspireU Network, and how do you envision continuing to expand its positive influence and reach, in the years to come? So what's on the come up for InspireU? I know you said you have the gala award ceremony, but is there anything else? And how do we, attend that? Because that sounds like an awesome networking event as well.
Yes. It's definitely going to be an amazing networking event. We actually have time set aside for a networking mixer for businesses to be able to collaborate with other businesses. The type of people who are going to be in the room are going to be producers, writers, authors, speakers, coaches, corporations, even, you know what I mean? So it's going to be great opportunities for people to network. So you definitely want to be in the room and celebrate for a good cause, because a portion of the proceeds will be going to that scholarship fund, who will be assisting those graduating teen moms to help them transition into college with child care assistance. I know for me, that was one of the biggest things, because I actually graduated high school when I was pregnant. And so going into college and just not having the money to be able to pay for babysitting was a huge stumbling block. So that's something we definitely want to be able to help with this fundraising gala. So you can find that on Eventbrite. Just type in the word InspireU Gala or awards. InspireU is one word, and it's the letter U, not the word. So look that up, or check the links in my Instagram bio. You'll definitely be able to get a ticket. We also have sponsorship slots available for any businesses that want to partner in that way. And so what's coming up moving forward, so like I said, we're celebrating the 1 year. So going into year 2, definitely having our own, studio. I want to be the female Tyler Perry around here, so get our own studio, definitely beginning to produce, because I love doing screenplays. That's something that I've been writing plays for a long time. And so actually just getting plays on it, docuseries, movies, and things like that. So those are the things that are coming up for year 2. Definitely always looking for more content creators who want to come on and possibly have their own show and just help the movement, as well as, expand their own personal platform. So that is what we're working on coming up in the future.
That's amazing. And Miss Alandria, what is the best way for people to contact you, whether it's, they want to look into sponsorship for your event that's coming up, or if they want to attend the event, or if they just want to connect with you in general?
Yeah, so definitely Instagram. It's Alandria_Elle, and the L is spelled out ELLE. So Instagram, Alandria Lloyd on Facebook. The InspireU Network.com is our website. And if you want to text, we do have a business line. You will definitely get a response. It's 404-759-9610. So that's our line. So you can hit us up if you want to sponsor, if you want the direct link for tickets, or find out how you can be a part of what we're building here. You can most definitely call or text that number.
That is awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Miss Alandria Lloyd, aka the Entrepreneur's Advocate. I hope everyone really enjoyed this session that I had with Miss Alandria. I definitely took away some gems. So, as always, I hope you guys are taking notes because that's what I always tell y'all. So don't come DMing me talking about what was that you wanted me to write. No, you need to take notes every time you listen to Outside the Box because we are always going to have someone on there dropping gems. And so until next time, everyone, just keep remembering to think outside of the box.